What is up, YouTube? Today, we're diving into the best SV-98 attachments and calibrations in Delta Force. The SV-98 is a bolt-action sniper rifle built for long-range engagements. It deals 76 damage per shot and cannot one-shot to the body at any range at all, so every shot has to count. Today, I've got two builds to cover different playstyles. The first one focuses on faster follow-up shots, increasing the fire rate to 48 rounds per minute while keeping muzzle velocity high at 1020 meters per second. This makes it much easier to land multiple shots quickly without sacrificing any of your long-range performance. The second build slows down the fire rate down to 36 rounds per minute, but it does boost the muzzle velocity even further to 1256 meters per second and also extends the range. It's designed for players who want that maximum precision at extreme ranges, where fire rate matters less than landing that one perfect shot. Both builds improve the weapon depending on your goals while maximizing the rest of the stats like stability and keeping handling as high as possible for a bolt-action rifle. And with all of that said, let's get into the attachments. We begin with an SV-98 that has absolutely nothing on it, and we'll go from the front to the back. Starting off with the barrel, where we put on the agile short barrel. Now you might be thinking that this is a bad idea because it doesn't give us any range or muzzle velocity increases at all. But the most important stat here is the fire rate. This barrel by itself takes up the fire rate from a measly 44 up to a total of 52 rounds per minute, which I do think it's much more important than any other stat on a bolt action rifle. So let's put it on. Part of the reason why we chose that barrel is because now for the muzzle we're going to be making a sacrifice. We're sacrificing 4 rounds per minute, which is not that much, to get a whole bunch of range and a whole bunch of muzzle velocity. This is going to make it a lot easier for us to land our shots at way further ranges. So let's put it on. Next up is the bipod, where I do recommend you put it on because of the long distances that we're going to be covering with the weapon. It is much better to be able to settle down, put the bipod down, and get rid of pretty much most of your optics way. On the right and the left rail, you really can't put anything that would actually be useful for a sniper rifle, so let's leave that alone. Although on the upper rail, we can put on the KC Hound handguard panel. Let's put that on for the extra 1 stability that we get out of it. And we're almost done, so let's go to the optic, where we actually go for the 6-12 sniper scope. You will be able to range your targets using this, so it's quite useful to have, and make sure that the new slot is filled up with a kill flash. Always put on the kill flash whenever you're sniping at these types of distances. Now this is the finished first build without the calibration, so let's go over the stats real quick before we move on to the calibration, and you'll notice it's already a huge increase in muzzle velocity and fire rate. These are both of the most important stats for a weapon like this, while keeping the stability pretty high, but you also have a bipod, so you don't care too much about it either. On the detailed stats, we don't really care about pretty much any of these stats right now because of the distances that you will be using the weapon, stability being the only important one, but again, you have a bipod. Now let's hop over to the calibration for the first build, which is my personal favorite, and all we really do is on the barrel, we move the weight limit all the way down to the minimum, just to have some extra ADS movement speed. It's always useful to have even at long ranges, and the length all the way to the maximum for the extra muzzle velocity. We don't care about either firing stability or ADS speed, so let's move on to the optic, where we leave the zoom exactly where it is because I do find that 6-12 is more than enough for me, and the eye relief all the way down to the minimum so that you can see as much as possible inside of your optics window. Now let's go back to the stats, and you can see the difference has been mainly on the muzzle velocity here, although we did get a little boost on the ADS movement speed, making it the default, which is pretty good. Now this is the finished build for the overall best one possible because of the very high fire rate, but let me show you build number 2, which is really just meant for those precision, very long range shots where you're only going to take one shot and that's it. And all we're really going to do is go from this build and change out the barrel to the SV-98 Sublime Ultra Long Barrel. As you can see, the difference here is a huge increase in range, better control, which we don't care about being a bolt action rifle, even less handling than we already had, and way better stability, so this is going to get rid of a little bit more of that sway. But most importantly, the things to note here are that it decreased your fire rate by a huge number. We're down to 36 6 now, which is very close to the AWM, but our muzzle velocity has increased by a lot, and it's going to increase even more once we install it and we go to the calibration screen, where we do exactly the same thing we did before, moving the weight limit all the way down to the minimum to get the extra ADS movement speed, and the length all the way up to the maximum to get the muzzle velocity. Now if we go back to the stats, you can see the big difference here. We're up to 1,256 meters per second, although we're very far down on the fire rate. So I would definitely recommend that you go for this SVD to make sure that you keep that 48 round per minute fire rate and very high muzzle velocity. And now that you know the stats and the calibration for both of the builds, let's go into the firing range here with the main build so that I can show you how to use the rangefinder. Knowing how to use this thing is very important because, as you can tell, there's a little number on the top there if you don't know about this, and there is drop in the game. So let's say that I aim right around here, I'm hitting right about here below it. This range is really not that long, so you won't be able to see it that well. But now if I press my K key, as you can tell, my little red dot moves down just a little bit to account for that drop. So now when I shoot, it lands exactly where the red dot was. That is the power of the optic. That way, whenever you have very long ranges, you don't have to calculate the drop by yourself. You can let the computer do it by adjusting your red dot. Now, if you don't know how to do the range finding, when you're aimed down your sights with this optic, you can see it on the bottom right of the screen where it says hold breath, stats, weapons, switch zoom, and set distance / objective, which is my K key. If you're on PC, you can go to your settings, go to keyboard and mouse, controls and combat, and all the way at the bottom, it is the rangefinder key. Of course, if you're on mobile, it would definitely be something different, but this is one way to find which key it is. Now, every single great bolt-action rifle needs a good secondary, and for that, we're going with a G18 because it is fully automatic. And what we have here are the highest recoil mitigation attachments possible for the G18. Starting with a muzzle, going for the Elite Pistol muzzle brake, this is going to make a huge difference already just by itself. You don't need anything on the lower rail, but I do like to put this O-light because it kind of blinds your enemy a little bit. On the barrel, just put on the only one that's possible here. The optic is of course preference, but I highly prefer this O-sight red dot. And moving on to the magazine, of course, get the 33 round mag. The fire rate of this weapon is very high, as you can tell down here, with 1,172 rounds per minute, so having as many rounds as possible is the only good idea here. And lastly, on the rear grip, the XK Competition rear grip. With these attachments, you're pretty much going to have the best possible G18 that you should definitely be pairing up with all your sniper rifles, just in case somebody sneaks up on you. The SV-98 cannot get one-shot kills, but it's much better at ranged battles than the AWM due to the faster fire rate. So far, this has been my favorite sniper, so I think you should give it a try. And now that we have the build locked in, let's jump into a sniping game in trench lines to see the setup in action. Enjoy! We're in trench lines, let's see what we can do as Luna with the SV-98. We're gonna have a bit of a more chill game than usual, considering that this is a sniper. It is meant to be behind the front lines. There we go, that's one. At 90 meters, you are doing the maximum amount of damage, which is 76 damage. Okay, there we go. Nice little headshot. Another one. Stand still for me. I gotta reload, I didn't even realize. We have 7 rounds on the SV-98, which is pretty good. It's better than the AWM. You gotta be patient sometimes. You don't want to shoot every single time. I say that, and then I shoot and I miss. Because I wasn't patient. If you can't line up the headshot, it is worth it to hit the body also, or the legs, the arms, whatever you... Oh, man. Wow, what a shot. One little headshot. 2 little... Oh. How did I miss it? I really thought I hit his head there. I was so off though, apparently. I was following that guy for a while to be able to line it up. That took quite the amount of time. I'm gonna try to run to the right side of the map now. There you are. Bam! Oh yeah. We are also shooting at 48 rounds per minute, which does mean that we can put a lot of follow-up shots whenever you do miss that initial one. So it's okay to miss a couple of times. Let's get this guy. Put my bipod down. Oh, hello. Ooh. There we go. See, there's the usefulness of the 48 rounds per minute. For a bolt-action rifle, that is pretty good. He thought he could jump away from me. Never. Now, sadly, the SV-98 is not capable of one-shot kills at any distance, at any part of the body except the head. That does mean that the AWM's upside is that you can use it as a quick scoping rifle, as a quick scoping sniper rifle, whereas the rest you really can't. Hello, can I get him? Oh, I can! Oh, nice. Is there somebody up here? There's always, oh, hello. Little headshot. Nice. There's always somebody up here somewhere. Guess not today, apparently. I don't see them. They didn't see my respawn beacon. Hell yeah. That's 2 little headshots. There's another one right here that should pop out soon. 3 little headshots. Now, will I be able to get this guy? Probably not. I was not expecting him to just dive there. And you too. Is there a third? Stand still for me? Oh no. Not standing very still for me. Ooh. There's so many of them. Just pick them off here. Oh no. How'd you know? How'd you know, huh? That is so rude. Got him. Hey, we got the snipers though. That means a lot less mosquitoes biting my team. Bam. This is definitely the kind of sniping that you want to be doing with the SV-98. It's nice when you can line up 2 shots pretty quickly. Wait, how come he didn't... Wait, I thought he was supposed to get highlighted, huh? Still got him. That's crazy. Little headshot. Oh, where's that Viren? Wait, that's him. That's crazy. Oh no. What? How did I miss? Oh, I think he crouched. Oh. I did not think she would be aiming at me for that long. But it worked out for us. Hello. Wow. He was using a burst fire rifle. I don't know which one, but one of them. Now what I really like about this SV-98 is that although we don't have the best range that we could have, it's still a one-shot kill at literally any range possible. So it doesn't really matter that our maximum range is not as long as we could have made it. Bam! I like it when they just stand there for me. Wish more people would do that. Let's go. I keep thinking the drop is higher than it really is. I mean, at this distance, at 103, there's 0 drop. Not gonna jump away from that. Got her. I really like the muzzle velocity on this one, because it's just the same as the AWM, although we have way better rounds per minute. That guy really was going for it there. What the? How'd you get behind me? And how did you miss so much? Oh, that's crazy. I remember... Yeah, there we go. Got her. Yes, there we go. She moved at the perfect moment on that first shot. Let's go be annoying on the left side of the map here. I see you. Bam. 0 drop because of that muzzle velocity. It's so good compared to the AWM's muzzle velocity for RPM. She gonna... Oh, she does show again. That is crazy. Nice little headshot. Oh, I thought that was a kill. Whoopsies. Now there's one that continually goes over here. Bam. Now, of course, whenever you're sniping like this, you're not going to be able to contribute to your team very much on the objective. So all you can really do is make it hard for the enemies to do what they need to do. And even if you can't get a headshot, if you know that you can't, get the body shot anyways. There we go, yes. As long as you can get the body shot, you're good to go. Because you're gonna be dealing 76 damage. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. Your team will be able to take care of that. Ooh, yes. Thank you for laying down for me. Appreciate that. Ooh, he was already hurt. I like that. No way. What timing? How did she get out exactly at the perfect moment? That was crazy. I see you though. Okay, still got her. That was crazy timing though. That was not the one on the cannon. Got her. There's another one though. Where's your respawn beacon? I didn't know you guys have been spawning down here somewhere. Okay, good. I did not expect this guy to just be there right there. What's crazy is that from this same spot that I was at earlier on the point, you can still do work for the second half of the point. Ooh. Yes, thank you for standing still. For making it very predictable. That's a teammate. Where? No way you're shooting from there. You're crazy. You're a crazy person. Strafe the other way. Oh, okay. Who shoots that far? Actually can't believe they're that good at aiming that thing that it actually landed right here. That was actually crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Bam!
Roger that. Artillery barrage.
Oh no, someone got her right as I was shooting at her. Another headshot, how about you? Bam! I love that. Such a good sound effect. Another one. I'm 200 points away. There we go. I got the guided missile. I gotta use it. I don't even care if I die. Did I not use it? Oh, windmill. Right around here. I didn't want the windmill to actually stop the missile. See ya. Stand still. Yeah. That's why you don't stand still. Come on, give me a few kills here. 4. Every time it's 4. Someone on the comments the other day said that I always get 4 kills. 4, that is the magic number. That's crazy, and I think they were right. What is this guy doing? That is crazy. Hey, that was the SV-98. Oh, what? This is gonna sound so weird for me to say the A once again, because I really liked it, but it's not gonna be as genuine now. Hey, that was the SV-98. We got a nice 78 kills here with it. It is 200 times better than the AWM if you're trying to go for long shots, and it's really fun to use if you're trying to stay behind the front lines. Now in the comments down below, let me know what you thought of this SV-98 build, and if you have a way to improve it even more. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. I will out.